I want you to imagine you have $1 billion. Smell it yet? Good. You are sitting on a yacht, you have a monocle, you have a white cat. You are the monopoly man. You think you have made it. You decide you want to buy an NBA team, obviously because why not really? You call up the commissioner. You say, I have $1 billion cash. I would like to buy the Golden State Warriors, please. Do you know what happens? The commissioner laughs at you. The receptionist laughs at you. The security guard laughs at you as he throws you out of the building. In 2025, having $1 billion doesn't make you a player in sports ownership. It makes you middle class. We have reached a point in sports economics where the price tag of the assets has outpaced the wealth of the human beings on Earth. There are simply not enough people with $6 billion of liquid cash to buy these teams anymore. So the NBA had a choice: evolve or let the market freeze. They chose to evolve. And that evolution involves three words that usually terrify everyone: private equity funds. Because let's be honest, these funds have the money to pay 50, 75, and even $100 million salary contracts that are the future of basketball. Today I am going to explain how the NBA turned into a stock market, why a basketball team is no longer a business, but a trophy asset, and why, if you have a pension plan, you might technically own a piece of the Phoenix Suns without knowing it. So if you like this video and want to see more, please like and subscribe. Let's look at the math because the math is broken. In the old days, like 2010, buying a team was simple. A rich guy made his money in software or mortgages, wrote a check for $400 million, and got the keys. But then something happened. The multiple exploded. In normal business, we value companies based on how much money they make. If a laundromat makes $100,000 a year, you might pay $300,000 for it. That is a 3x multiple. If a tech company makes $100 million, you might pay $1 billion. That's a 10x multiple. The NBA? We are seeing multiples of 15x, 20x, sometimes 25x revenue. This makes no sense. If you look at the P&L statement of an NBA team, it's not that impressive. After you pay the players, the stadium staff, the travel, the insurance, and the luxury tax, the actual cash flow at the end of the year might be $50 million. Maybe. So why would someone pay $6 billion for an asset that only pays them $50 million a year? That is a 0.8% return on investment. You could put that money in a high-yield savings account and make 5 times more money doing literally nothing. Here's the secret. They aren't buying cash flow. They are buying a trophy. An NBA team is not a Taco Bell franchise. It is a Picasso. It is a Da Vinci. There are only 30 of them on the entire planet. You cannot build a new NBA team. You cannot 3D print a LeBron James. Because of this scarcity, the value of the team doesn't go up because they sold more hot dogs. It goes up because there are more billionaires being minted every year who want to join the exclusive club. It is the greater fool theory with 10 zeros attached to it. But here is the problem. The price got too high. When valuations hit $4 billion, $5 billion, $8 billion, the pool of buyers evaporated. Even the billionaires were saying, I can't afford that. The current owners were sitting on gold mines, but they couldn't sell. They were asset-rich, cash-poor. Enter the rule change. A couple of years ago, the NBA quietly changed its bylaws to allow institutional investors. This opened the door for private equity firms, companies like Arctos Sports Partners, Dial Capital, to come in and buy minority stakes. Here is how the hustle works. Let's say you own a team worth $4 billion. You own 100% of it, but you personally want to buy a new superyacht that costs $500 million. You don't have the cash. In the old days, you'd have to sell the whole team. Now, you call up private equity. You say, hey, do you want 12% of the team? They write you a check for $500 million. You keep control. You remain the face of the franchise. You sit courtside. But now a hedge fund in New York owns a slice of the pie. It gets crazier. It's not just American private equity anymore. It's sovereign wealth funds. We are talking about the Qatar Investment Authority, the Saudis, nation-states. The NBA recently allowed sovereign wealth funds to buy up to 20% of a team. Why? Because they are the only ones left with the cash. When you are competing against a country that sits on a literal ocean of oil, the price of the asset is irrelevant. They don't care about the P&L. They care about the prestige. They care about sports washing. They care about diversifying their portfolio for when the oil runs out in 50 years. So what does this mean for the sport? It means the mom-and-pop billionaire owner is dead. We are moving toward a corporate ownership model, and this changes the incentives. A rich guy might spend over the salary cap because he wants to win a championship for his city. He has an ego. A private equity firm? They have a spreadsheet. They have a fiduciary duty to their limited partners to return 20%. They don't care if the team wins. They care if the media rights deal goes up. They care if the real estate around the stadium appreciates. And who are these limited partners? Who is actually funding these private equity firms? This is the plot twist. It's you. Major private equity funds get their money from CalPERS, California Public Employees Retirement System, from teachers' unions, from university endowments. So if you are a public school teacher in Ohio, a tiny fraction of your paycheck is going into a pension fund, which invests in a PE firm, which just bought 10% of the Charlotte Hornets. You technically own a piece of LaMelo Ball's contract. No, you can't get courtside seats. Yes, that seems unfair. But the end game here is expansion. The NBA wants to add teams. Seattle, Las Vegas, Mexico City. The entry fee for these new teams is rumored to be $5 billion to $6 billion, just for the right to exist. There isn't a single human being who is going to write that check alone. These new teams will be built by consortiums. A celebrity face, maybe LeBron, maybe Shaq, putting up 5% of the money, and a massive, faceless wall of institutional capital putting up the other 95%. So next time you see a team get sold for a record-breaking number, don't look at the guy shaking hands at the press conference. He's just the hood ornament. Look at the capitalization table, because the NBA isn't just a sport anymore. It is an asset class. It is real estate with a scoreboard. And just like the housing market, the prices have been engineered to only go up, regardless of whether anyone can actually afford the ticket. Will we see Blackstone and BlackRock basketball teams playing against each other to sell you, the pensioner, $18 hot dogs? Maybe. Probably. Welcome to the new game. Hope you have the stomach for it. And if you like this video and want to see more, make sure you like and subscribe.